Good morning, heifers. How are you, ladies? Good afternoon, peoples. My name's Tyler. This is hopefully going to be the first of many videos to come. We're the Hendricksons. And I'm joining you here from our little sweet corn patch today. We're going to pick some sweet corn and get into what's going on the farm and my personal business. A little windy here in Michigan. So this is my head level. The sweet corn looks beautiful. We had an awesome amount of rain this year. Unfortunately, I did my normal case of nitrogen. And I think we had some nitrogen wash due to the high amounts of rain because we got ears. A lot of plants got doubles, but I'll rip them off. These aren't very big ears. So what can happen is, it's called nitrogen wash. You apply nitrogen, which is the most important fertilizer in my opinion for corn. When you get a lot of rain, nitrogen is a very soluble fertilizer. It seeps when it gets wet. It just turns into water basically, and that's how it gets to your corn. But when you get too much of it, it escapes through your soil and just has no effect on the corn. And it rained every couple days for like 3 weeks a month. I think we got some nitrogen wash because our ears, just for how much fertilizer I put on, we just didn't get the ears that we should have. And it's sad. You know, we don't make a living off the sweet corn, but it's a little extra money, so that's kind of disappointing. We're not gonna make any money doing sweet corn this year, but I got a plan for next year. It'll be better. A little more fertilizer, stabilizer, a little better tillage practices, a little more fertilizer, higher population, and we'll see how that works. Had to quick run home and pick up the boss. She can't miss a day at the farm. Between her animals and the tractors and running around exploring, it's a kid's dream. Sir, it's not where you're supposed to be. So here's the farm, which I'll do more about later. I'll do a whole nother video about the history of this farm and the barns and so on and so forth. So, a lot of history, a lot of local history at this farm. There's some of the sheep. And there's the Green Vale Farm store. For perspective, we're getting a lot of ears like this. Here you want, Inspector? This isn't a normal ear, this is what we want. That's about on average, our smallest ear. We got a couple that are that size. You know, if they all looked like that, would be happy, but a lot of them aren't. The inspector's not very happy with our corn production. You visiting the heifers? Say hi. With your chickens? Saturdays usually aren't too busy around here except for the store, especially when you have you're farming with the 2-year-old. She's not even 2 yet. So we got the sweet corn picked. Just doing the best we can. Now we're just tried to spray some weeds. Somebody got taken out by a gate. So now we're playing with the chickens and seeing the cows till it's nap time and Dad can get some actual work done. These are a couple pens of broiler chickens. All the meat that we grow on this farm is sold through the store. We don't do anything commercial. We do all straight from farmer to consumer. So these chickens will be ready in next week, I think. Not sure on that, don't hold me to it, but they will be sold as whole chickens, or you can buy just thighs or breasts or legs or whatever you want in the store. I can't remember if you can find them online. I don't do the website stuff, so they might be online, they might not be. You want me to shut you in the chicken pen? Oh, you make sure they don't get out? I know you. You watch Mom and Dad. You gotta make sure your chickens don't get out. You're like in jail. You in baby jail? Hello, friend. We ran out of room outside, so you have to come stay inside. Yeah, I know. I just fed you, but you still think you're hungry. Huh? So one of the goals of this channel, and one of the reasons I created it, is to help people better understand agriculture, especially animal agriculture. It's not really shown a ton on YouTube. We're not a big commercial farm, but we do actively milk cows, actively grow beef cattle, chickens, pigs, we have some lambs. Pigs and lambs we don't do a whole lot. Chickens, we grow a couple hundred a year, along with a couple hundred layers. So I want in the forward do maybe some videos just on education, showing the animals, helping people better understand a lot of the lies that media puts out about animal farming. So for instance, that calf may be acting like he's hungry, but calves as well as pigs are gluttons. Calves, especially the young calves, will eat till they're sick, like violently ill. They have no control. It's like a fat kid in a candy store. There's no control there. He will eat till he gets sick. And unfortunately, with how bad their immune system is at a young age, it can sometimes lead to death. So you've got to control how much they eat. So unfortunately, even though little buddy here acts like he's still hungry, you're only about 10 days old. And you just got fed a half gallon of milk, and you've got grain right there for you. And I know if I give you more milk, your guts will probably freak out and you'll get the scours, which is basically like a human version of the flu with diarrhea. And with no immune system, that can wipe a calf out. And back to our regularly scheduled programming. Old sweet corn planter's got to get in storage. Get that put away for the year. That's on the list. One of the big things, this is really hard to do through a camera, with having a farm open to the public, is that generally we try to keep things somewhat nice. The weeds have gotten away from us a little bit around some of these cattle barns. So we're going to just take care of that. Kill them off hopefully for the year. It's first week of August. So hopefully we get a good kill on them right now and they will be dead for the rest of the year. This area is all on my list of things I want to get taken care of shortly. It's just gross. It's a mess. That steel is going to have to go up on the barn for the winter. These gates are all gates that have broken off inside this barn because that was not made for the size of cattle that are in it. It's just a never-ending, oh, that thing's got to get sold. Little one has joined me again, but it's all things that just slowly got to get taken care of, cleaned up. Add another thing today that I didn't video because it's an anger-inducing time. Moved cattle from this barn, all the big steers and big feeders, to their new home, which used to be the heifer leasing barn, which we now need that space, so they're gonna live their permanent homes there. I got my partner in crime with me again. She's up from her nap. It's a good thing I was thinking with my brain for once, and we took cattle out of here about 4 months ago. The lease ended on the cattle that were in here, so we just filled it up. But I just thought it's about 2 hours after we put them in, I think I turned the drinkers off when the cattle moved out. So we're gonna go in and make sure all the drinkers are working. And the verdict is just as I thought. It's a good thing I was using my brain for once, otherwise you guys would be thirsty in a little bit. I'm a firm believer in a good drinker can make your life either terrible or wonderful. One wrench to get the top off, a screwdriver to get the bottom off, and it's one valve. And it's, I think, one hose with a float in there, and that's all that you need. They're fully enclosed, as cattle drinkers should be, to keep them out of the wind and keep them from freezing in the winter. Some little girls have puppies and dogs and kitties. This little girl has barns of cows that adore her. Barns of cows and barns of steers and calves that adore her. So she's trying, it looks like, to hand feed them. Excuse me, fat boys. I know you're all up eating. You just got fed. So you're all in the front alley and like nobody's in the back. You guys gotta get out of the way. I'm trying to get you water. When my wife and I started dating, she started farming here. And she had one steer the year we started dating. This barn holds about 200. So it's about 75% capacity right now. So that's what a few years of hard work can do. They're giant puppy dogs. Awful animals. We moved them from that barn over there, which used to be a calf barn. Just wasn't set up for 800 plus pound animals. We usually sell them about 1,400 pounds. Butcher them, I mean. So this barn's was built after, just a lot nicer setup. Bigger drinkers, heavier duty gates, heavier duty fans. Just a lot less broken things, a lot more space, a lot nicer to work with. And we're gonna work on fixing up that barn next for the calves. We've still got about 50, 60 calves in there, but we can work around them. So that barn's only at probably 40% capacity at the time. As per usual with farming, things didn't get done as much as I hoped they would today, but it's chore time. It's 5 o'clock. So my duties usually are feeding all the calves. If we have employees, they'll do the rest pretty much, so I can get home by 7 o'clock. But usually these morons are my responsibility if I'm home from work by 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock and 7 a.m. is chore time. Get these little guys fed. We keep all of our calves in these little white hutches, which I'll do a video about at a later time. So when you see a dairy farm with all these hutches, the hutches are full of calves. Generally, we keep them in these hutches till they're about 10 weeks, 10 to 12 weeks old. So it's not germ free, but when they're till they're about 3 months old, they're pretty much susceptible to any disease. And between every calf that goes in a hutch, we power wash the hutches and clean out and put new bedding and try to make it as germ-free as possible, because these little guys are so susceptible to disease. As I was saying earlier, even getting fed too much, they'll get scours, which they can die from. So pneumonia and scours are the two main fatalities for a calf, both of which are just corrected by proper care and not overfeeding or underfeeding. It's a very intricate game. It's like taking care of a bunch of newborns. So, time to get feeding. So, calves are about as cute as they come, but the unfortunate thing is they're also about as dumb as they can get. That's why the most care and watching has to go into your calves, because they will eat themselves into sickness, they will get themselves stuck, they will lay in the wettest bedding they have. Their IQ is slightly above a rock. Like, to a point, we've literally had calves that are so dumb that it takes them 3 to 4 days to figure out how to eat, because they cannot figure out how their mouth works. It's like a newborn 24-hour-old infant, except they're that smart for 3 months. It's can be ridiculous and infuriating. You have a lot of patience and a lot of care for calves. Got some of the far off cows and heifers here, and a bull. See if you can pick out which one's the bull. So these girls will not give birth for at least 60 days yet. So we got a little 2-acre pasture here of kind of odd ground. Floods, it's just not really great. We could use it for farming, but there's a waterway in here. And then this section all in here floods, and there's a creek out back in here. So we just put some girls out here. They like it, the people like it. At this stage of pregnancy, they don't take a whole lot of maintenance. We give them, well, like half a bucket of heifer feed a day, and then they kind of just munch on grass. And with that being said, I'm gonna finish up feeding all these guys. It's Saturday. It's 6:30. I'm gonna go home and cook up some burgers and relax. Wasn't a busy Saturday, but sometimes it's better that way. Harvest is coming and I'm gonna have a lot of hours coming up. So if you enjoyed the video, guys, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, say hello. We appreciate it, guys. Thanks for watching.